Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Raina Taboo. I'm Raina, the owner of T's Accessory Boutique. Today, we're going to be making these Dolce & Gabbana inspired headphones. I have been wanting to make these blinged out headphones for a very long time, and I've finally gotten the opportunity. These headphones usually retail anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000, but today, we'll be doing it for under $25. Let's get started. So to get started, I just opened up my headphones, which I purchased from Five Below for $5. I'm just showing you here that they are regular headphones, nothing fancy. They come with a cord and they flip in and they flip out. So before we get started with spray paint, we need to tape off the areas. All I am doing is figuring out what parts of the headphone I don't want the spray paint to touch. I'm going to be using white electrical tape to tape off the inside of the ears so that they don't get damaged as I'm spray painting. As you can see, I've completely covered both earpieces on the inside of the headphone as well as the inside of the headband where it will be touching my hair most frequently. These are the parts that will be protected from the spray paint as well as a little bit of the cord. Now it's time to paint. And just like that, we have our brand new gold headphones. Here's where I'm going to be removing the tape carefully so that I don't damage anything. Be sure not to do this part until your headphones are completely dry. Now we are ready to embellish our headphones. I got a lot of these embellishments on sale. These are from Michaels. They're flat back gray pearls with like this iridescent tone to them. I got them with a 50% off coupon. I also got these Hildy and Joe pendants that are for necklaces for 50% off from Joann's. I got some sparkle rhinestones also from Joann's. These were $2, and I got this great headband that I'll be using for the headband piece. I got that from Walmart for $3. I have this really cool Charming Charlie's headband with these little rhinestones. They're kind of hard to see here, but they're really cute, and I thought that I could use them in some kind of way. Those were also on clearance for like $2. And I have some broken jewelry. I wish I could have used more broken jewelry, but this is all that I had around my house. So I had to go out and get a few pieces to add to my headphones. For the most part, I will be using E6000 glue to adhere all of my embellishments to my headphones. I am going to go ahead and start with my pendants that will be serving as medallions on the sides of my headphone earpieces. I did not measure this out, but when I eyeballed it, I pretty much figured it would cover the entire surface. If your headphones don't have medallions that can cover the entire surface, that's also okay. You can always embellish with other things like rhinestones and pearls or flowers or whatever you're into to fill up that space. Here, I'm just sizing up the medallion and centering it, making sure that it covers the entire earpiece. Now I'm ready to glue it down. I'm only applying glue to the rim of the earpiece because the middle of the medallion will never touch the middle of the earpiece. Therefore, there's no reason to waste glue and put it on the middle of the earpiece. E6000 is not an instant dry glue, so it does take a little bit of time and patience to hold the pieces in place so that they can dry just enough to where you can move on to the next step. I waited about 15 minutes before deciding to apply the medallion to the other ear. In a second, you'll see why 15 minutes wasn't long enough. I probably should have waited 35 to 40 minutes so that the glue could harden a little bit more and avoid having my other medallion slip from side to side. Here is where you can see exactly what I was talking about, how the medallion keeps slipping. So now my main focus is to hold both pieces level and get them centered again, and then make sure that they are curing enough before I move on to the next step. Now that they've cured enough, I've tested them, they're not going anywhere. It's time to embellish the outer part of the earpiece, and I'm going to use these pearls to do that, soon as I can figure out how to open them. Now that I've finally got the box open, I'm ready to start embellishing the outer part of my ears. These pearls are so pretty. This camera is not doing them justice. I wish you can see how pretty these pearls really are. I'm going to be applying these pearls this time using gem tack because the E6000 is taking way too long to dry, and I have not had any problems with gem tack. So for the pearls and the smaller stones, that's what I'll be using. I also thought I'd need some tweezers, which I did not have, so I picked up my jewelry pliers to pick up the pearls and apply them on the glue. But in a little while, you'll see that I ditched that idea very quickly and just continue to use my fingers because it was just easier and faster. Gem tack is sort of like Mod Podge, but for jewelry. It's a permanent glue and it dries completely clear even though it comes out white. So if you have too much glue applied and it oozes out over your pearls or over your stones or whatever, don't worry about it. It will be completely clear and you will not see it in the end. Once the glue is applied, you can now pick up your pearls or your stones. I'm picking them up in any random order. Whatever I pick up is what I'll set down. I don't really have a strategy here. As you can see, I did stop using the pliers and just use my fingers like I said, because it was much faster and easier. I will be doing this around the entire earpiece on both sides. As you can see, I've completely covered both outer parts of the earpieces with the pearls. You can still see the glue is white, and that is because it is not 100% cured. Once it is, it will be completely clear. Now it's time for me to move on and embellish the headphones a little bit more. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what piece I want to work on next. I'm going to be adding the broken pieces of jewelry to the sides of the headphone using the E6000 glue. And the reason I chose to use that instead of the gem tack this time is because the broken pieces are a little bit heavier than regular rhinestones or pearls, and I did not want to risk them falling off using gem tack. I want to use a permanent and strong glue. I only put a dot of E6000, which was not a good idea, and you'll see once I realize it's not enough to hold that stone, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put a glob of E6000, not to cover the entire surface, but enough to catch the stone and hold the stone in place while it is drying. Once I put the glue on the headphone, I will then put the piece of jewelry back on the headphone, and whatever I do to this side, I will do to the other side. Once those two pieces are applied, I will allow the headphones to cure and then move on to the next step. Now that everything has cured enough for me to move on, I'm going to be doing the headband next. I went ahead and measured out the headband on the headphones and cut the Walmart headband to the length using some scissors, and I'm going to be applying this headband using the E6000 glue. Here I'm just showing you how I measured it and how it fits perfectly around and what it will look like once it's glued on. Now that we've applied the headband to the top of the headphones and allowed it to dry, it's time to embellish some more. As I was allowing it to dry, I found this really cute gold chain laying around from a previous project, and I still have this rhinestone chain that I could use as well. I'm going to border the top of the headband on both sides with the gold chain that I found, and on the bottom sides of the headband, I'm going to embellish it a little bit more using these Miss Sparkle rhinestones that I got from Joann's. Once I finished the chains on the headband, I realized that I wanted to give my headband a little bit more of a pop. So to make it more three-dimensional, I added some pearls to the top of it, and this will be the last thing I do to complete the look that I'm going for. This is totally customizable, and you can add as much bling or as little bling as you'd like. It's all about your taste and preference. My D&G Inspired headphones are finally finished. I added a few more rhinestones to the top as well to give it a little bit more shine. You can add whatever you want or take away whatever you want, like I said previously. It's all up to you. I would really love to see what you come up with in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, Reina Taboo. I appreciate you watching. Thank you!